Yo, what is up everyone? Tachi here. So today we are going to be reviewing the Nier banner that drops in approximately 3 days. As you guys know, people have been saving up for this, and I will obviously tell you the main reason why that is, other than the fact that the weapons are okay. The weapons are not amazing. They're probably not something that you're going to use in the super long term, like 6 months, 8 months down the line. Weapons in general in this game are not long use. That is where the power creep in this game comes from, right? Obviously, they will help you now, as we are in a situation where we don't really have that many weapons. So if you happen to be a DPS main right now, I would pull on this banner. That's just a fact. Whether or not you're going to use these weapons in the medium or long term, that's a separate story and fully up to you. Personally, I do think the replicant weapons are better, but obviously replicant banner is next month, and I know y'all have that itch. I know you guys want to pull. Even I pulled. You see my crystals, they went down. I definitely did 2 pulls. I didn't get shit. Anyways, back into the actual video. There are 5 jobs available in this event, one of which is given to you through the login event, which is 2B Breaker, and the other 4 are from the gacha. The 4 jobs available in the gacha are 2B Crusher, Emil Cleric, A2 Breaker, and 9S Paladin. Of these, obviously you guys are aware that jobs in general are things that you want to get anyways in the long term, just from the fact that they all provide global stats. For the most part, it does follow the typical stat wise stuff. It's at level 3 and 4 you get 50 stats each. You get attack and defense for 2B Breaker, and then 6 through 8 you get another 150, split in between 100 for physical defense and 50 for HP. But then once you start getting to that level 12, you guys remember, if you guys can get those Arcanas, level 12, that's an extra 200 stats. And when it comes to 2B, I'm not even sure if all of them are like this, but 2B gives you a cost plus 2. I don't know about you guys, but I'm gonna really like that cost plus 2, mostly because I'm still low rank. Aside from whether or not the job stats are any good or not, it's just a matter of extra stats that you just want anyways, right? So you should be pulling on this banner regardless what role you're playing. Anyways, let's talk about the more important things, right? Who cares about the jobs? We already know we should get jobs, right? Okay, sure. First, we'll talk about 9S's Spear. 9S's Spear has a pretty okay main attack. It is a tier 3, so it's deal great magical damage. Stats are fine, about range for SR weapons. And the sub skill, personally, I don't like it at all. As you guys know, I do like Eris. I think Eris is a very good nightmare, and it has a similar usage. It has a fixed chance of slightly reducing the SP consumption, but it's only for this one weapon, right? So it'll drop from like 17 to 12 or something like that. It helps, but I don't think it makes a big difference. Personally, I don't think this weapon is very good. I think the usage that you can find on this weapon is pretty limited. More than likely, I think we will probably stop using this weapon by the time we get Snow White Paladin, right? So around like 4 to 6 months from now, we will probably swap this weapon out because it's just not that good. Stat wise though, for now, I definitely think this weapon is worth getting, just because we really, like I said, we really don't have anything. Like, you take a look at my gear, 87k, but you see that I have swords, I have axes, I have bows, I have spears. It's clearly not optimized. You would prefer to do it all on one thing. You would try to do just physical damage, right? But I lose out. Wait a second. Tangent time. Wait a second. When I do strongest, what do I get? Okay, thank God. I was about to say, I was like, what the fuck? What was going on? I'm like, huh? That doesn't make any sense. Okay, never mind. So for some reason, I guess it just wasn't optimized to begin with. We can ignore that. So back to what I was saying. For now, I can at least use it to replace some of these weapons. I think this, for example, this is an A rank weapon that can evolve twice. This is not a great weapon, right? It does have Dauntless Courage, which is nice, but it's only a tier 2 in terms of damage. So it does deal significantly less damage than a tier 3 and a tier 4 would. So that is already replaceable. A lot of this stuff is replaceable. You guys see I still have 2 S ranks. Some of these SRs, if I'm not mistaken, are unevolved. So I still have room to improve this. and I would prefer to improve it with base SRs. On to the next weapon, which is A2's sword. It actually has the same sub skill. If you guys notice, it's a tier 4. Deal massive damage to one enemy. Stat wise, it's slightly lower, about 8 points lower. Not a huge difference, to be honest. You're not really going to notice 8 stats, but I think you're really going to notice that damage. Now, obviously, this is a single target as opposed to 9S having a spear, which is multi-target. Yes, but personally, since I'm maining physical damage anyways, this type of weapon is definitely more what I want in the future. Obviously, again, since the sub skill is not that great, obviously you are going to be replacing this eventually. But I think, at least for me, this weapon has more long-term viability than the spear does. And that just comes down to the fact that I plan on being a physical DPS. Maybe that'll change if luck is, on my side, especially in the future when it comes to more spears. But for now, I do have a lot more swords, which I'm sure you guys have seen already. Now, on to the next weapon. This is a really good weapon. This is a really good weapon for healer. Healing light, heal one ally by a massive amount. You see it's tier 4, so it's already going to be healing really well. But not only that, recovery support. This is the skill that I was talking about, guys. This is a skill that has a fixed chance to slightly increase the HP you recover. It's basically has a chance to crit heal. This is very good. This is exactly what you want on a support weapon, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna have to say that for its role, this is probably the best weapon on this banner, in my personal opinion. Obviously, 2B's Crusher Axe is actually pretty good too, but I can't really think much of what would replace this. I'm gonna be honest, I really can't, but I'm not a healing main, so you would have to consult with JP players and see like what they might have added. Maybe they'll have in the future weapons that have additional stuff in their main skill, like it doesn't just heal a massive amount, but it also like slightly increases defense or some shit like that. Like I can't really think of what would power creep something like this in the short or medium term. Maybe in like the really long term it'll get replaced. And then the final weapon that we should be talking about, which we already covered in the last video, is 2B Crusher's Axe. Well, 2B Crusher's Axe, you guys know, I think is a really good skill. Deal great physical damage to 1 to 2 enemies. It also decreases their physical attack and magical attack by a small amount, and that is not a fixed chance. That always happens. Very good. It's not much, but it will help you in Coliseum, in my personal opinion. And on top of that, again, it has Dauntless Courage 2, which is a very, very good skill. Not only is it considered a very good skill, it's actually the exact skill that you want to run as a DPS main in Coliseum. It is the skill to get in terms of sub skills that you want in Coliseum. Obviously, as you guys have noticed, stat wise, it is a little bit on the low side. It's even lower than 9S's. It's about 200 stats lower than 9S's spear, give or take. But again, what you guys have to pay attention, yes, 200 stats will add up with jobs, but on a main weapon, I'm gonna be honest, 200, it's not a big deal compared to Dauntless Courage, guys. Dauntless Courage is a 15% boost. 200 stats in a total? What's 200 stats of my percentage wise? What is that? I have 25k attack. It's not much. It's a very low amount. It's not even 1%, right? So you really think about it, a 15% boost from Dauntless Courage is going to be a lot bigger difference than a measly 200 stats ever will be. But anyways, that is my take. Obviously, you guys know, I think this banner is definitely worth pulling on as a DPS main. I do think that the Nier Replicant banner is slightly better. Obviously, it also has more jobs in general and more waifus, which is important too. But I will obviously have a separate video on that later down the line. I think it's a little early to release that video just because obviously, like I'm telling you guys, it's a month away from. There's no point in drilling in information into your head. That's why if you go to the Snow White Discord, they tell you to like, chill in terms of spoilers, because a lot of the info that's relevant to JP is completely irrelevant to us now. Like for example, Grand Coliseum. We don't even have Grand Coliseum yet, as far as we know. We don't know when we're going to get Grand Coliseum. So what's the point of even talking about it and like what it is? But anyhow, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you liked it, hit the like button. If you guys want to see more content, hit the subscribe button. I'm out. Have a nice day.